If you're looking for some interesting ways to incorporate automation into your mixes, you've come to the right place. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 4 ways I like to use automation in my mixes. Are you ready? Let's go. Are you an artist, producer, engineer, or music professional that's looking for funding for your music career? Could you benefit from having funding for studio time, mixing and mastering, or even marketing costs? I think I have something for you. I've written a free ebook. It's 9 pages, super short and digestible, where I break down the 6 main places that artists and professionals like yourself can find funding for their musical projects. If this sounds like it's of value to you, please click the link below and you can download this for free today and benefit from this knowledge. I hope this helps. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy 5Piece, producer and engineer extraordinaire. Thank you for checking out today's video, and if you haven't already, please hit the bell and the subscribe button down below so you can stay tuned for more helpful content. I'm dropping something new every single week where I'm trying to help you make better music, sound better, and make more money with your music. Doesn't that sound amazing? If you want to learn more about that, definitely follow me, and I'm going to help you along your journey. But in today's video, I want to talk about automation and mixing, and I particularly want to talk about 4 ways that I like to use automation within my mixes. I'm going to break this down for you, so let's get into Pro Tools and I'll show you what's going on. One way that I like to use automation in a mix is to create contrast between sections or elements of the track itself. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I've got a demo here that I'm working on, and within this track, I actually used an EQ with a high cut filter, a pretty steep high cut filter. And what I did was I automated that filter, the frequency of it, and you can see it here. It basically eases off and lets more high end in as the track progresses. And I did this because I wanted the intro chorus to have a bit more impact and stand out in comparison to what happened next, which was the drop, of course. I'm going to play this for you and you can check out what it sounds like.
They can't hang with a I know what's involved.
You get the idea. And even though this is a rough demo, you can already see how the song is forming, and it's allowing that second part, that verse part, to really impact and have some contrast to the beginning of the track. It just kind of comes out of nowhere in a way, and that's a good thing. Another reason why I use automation is to create separation between vocal tracks or maybe other instruments that are getting in the way of one another. In this example, I've got Queen queued up here by Everything Ocean. It's a track we just dropped recently, and I'll leave a link to it below. But the thing that I want to focus on primarily here is the ad-libs. You'll see right now my panning automation is all over the place for each individual ad-lib, and I've done this on purpose to just help create space for the ad-lib, for it to be heard and felt, and for it to not interfere with the actual main vocal take above it. Let me just play the hook and I'll show you what I'm talking about.
Hold up, hey, Jizz, yeah, I can see that you a queen. Watch me pull up at the scene. You got the drip and it's clean. You might just be far away. I'ma just pull up from deep. You got me feeling away. All of these sleep. Yeah, hold up, hey, Jizz, yeah.
You get the idea, and you can really see how this panning automation helps the ad-libs stand out, have their own space, and be separate from the actual main verse. And some of these panning throws, they really add some interesting character to the track, rather than if they were just left stuck in one position, whether it's centered or somewhere else. The fact that it's constantly moving keeps this entertaining for the listener. Another thing that I like to do with automation is I like to use it to fill in space, either using reverbs or delays. Sticking with Queen as the example here, there's a few background vocals vocals that I basically added a bunch more reverb to, just in order for them to fill in some space, because there was more of an opening there, you could say, within this track. You're going to see when I play this. But as you can see right here on this track, the reverb level is pretty much the same. This is the send level, and it's like that for most of the track, but there's a few select moments where I decide to just give it more level. And what that does is it's going to increase the amount of reverb that's present, but just for this one little vocal part. So let me play this and you're going to see what I'm talking about.
Hold up, hey, Jizz, yeah. I can see that you a queen. Watch me pull up at the scene. You got the drip and it's clean. You might just be far away.
You can really hear how the skirt, it just has a bunch more reverb around it. It sounds bigger and fuller. And you're going to really hear a difference if I turn it off. So if I were to actually turn off the automation here and play it again, you're going to hear that it's not there anymore and it's just the dry vocal. So check this out. You're going to see how different it feels.
Watch me pull up at the scene. You got the drip and it's clean.
It's just way different. The textures is not the same, and that reverb just adds that impact in a way to this part and the other parts that I ended up applying it to as well. Now, I decided to do it here with reverb, but you can absolutely do something similar with delays. It just depends on the amount of space you have to fill. The fact that there is not too much else happening at the same time as this vocal is what allowed this to work, so you want to make sure you have a similar circumstance when doing this in your track. The final way I like to use automation, at least for this video, is I like to use it to fix imbalances. A great example is the song I have here, which is Can't Stop Missing You by Cashflow. I'm going to leave a link to that below as well. But I did a few different things in this track just to solve some problems and really fix those imbalances that I'm mentioning. And the particular one that is really easy to point out is volume. At times, despite the compression and all the other things we do, sometimes you have to do a little bit more volume automation manually on specific phrases or parts of a song. Now, I did it a few different times in this song. For example, on his main vocal, I'm automating the volume up a little bit at times, more so than the part before it, because maybe it just didn't cut as much. I think it's because the key changed for his voice a little bit. And then down here on Keely's voice, I actually have her vocals being automated down because I didn't want her to be as present for this section, but I did want her to be present at the beginning. You got to remember, you can't always just set and forget your levels. You actually have to sort of manage them and change them over time. And using volume automation to correct this and manage them for you is just a great way to get everything to sound better and more balanced. So let me play you parts of this and just show you what I'm talking about. If we listen to this section, you're going to see it's probably not going to be noticeable, but that's kind of the point. We're doing this to blend things and make them more even because maybe one part stuck out more than the other. Let's listen and check this out. I'm going to solo, we'll play it one more time so you can really hear what to listen for.
And I keep you waiting. I can't stop missing you.
You can kind of hear that second part is kind of choppy, right? And I think that's what made it hard to hear. And that's probably why I ended up automating this up in the mix, right? And obviously I did it again when it happens the second time. So obviously we're going to do this because we have a reason. And I had a really great reason. It just wasn't cutting enough. I wanted to increase it and make it more present. And I did it and it worked. So there you have it. 4 ways to use automation in your mixes. I hope this was helpful for you. There's definitely more ways that you can automate things within your tracks, but these are 4 that I find I'm constantly using more regularly than others. Now, if you got value out of this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you want to see in a future video, and I hope to see you again in the near future. I'll see you soon. Peace.